The dark side of comfort, why it's destroying your potential. Comfort is the silent killer of dreams. Most people hear that line and nod, thinking it applies to someone else. Someone weaker. Someone lazier. Someone who clearly isn't them. Yet the truth is far more unsettling. Comfort destroys the dreams of the strong much faster than it destroys the dreams of the weak. That's because comfort doesn't challenge your strength. It numbs it. It whispers to you softly, seducing you with ease, routine, warmth, and safety, slowly pulling you away from the life you were meant to live. And the scariest part? You rarely notice it happening. Comfort doesn't show up like an enemy. It shows up like a friend. It tells you, take a break, you've done enough. It tells you, tomorrow will be better. You can start then. It tells you, you deserve to relax. Don't stress yourself. But behind that soft voice is the truth. Comfort is the most effective form of self-sabotage humans willingly walk into. Because it doesn't ruin your life suddenly. It ruins it gradually. Think about the last time you wanted to improve something important: your body, your career, your discipline, your habits, your income. The moment motivation was fresh in your mind, you felt unstoppable. You imagined yourself achieving everything. But then came the first moment of resistance. And comfort stepped in. It offered you an easier path. A way to avoid pain. A way to avoid uncertainty. A way to avoid effort. That one moment, when you chose ease instead of growth, felt harmless. It didn't feel like a decision that could impact your whole life. But every time you choose comfort over progress, you reinforce a pattern. And patterns become habits. Habits become identity. Identity becomes destiny. This is why comfort is dangerous. It doesn't just stop you from doing more. It slowly turns you into someone who no longer believes they can do more. Comfort erodes potential from the inside. Let's break down how this happens. 1. Comfort weakens your mind before it weakens your actions. Most people think the danger of comfort is laziness. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is the internal decay of self-belief. When you stay in your comfort zone for too long, your mind becomes conditioned to avoid anything difficult. You begin overthinking simple tasks. You start doubting your abilities. You convince yourself that certain goals are unrealistic. Not because they are, but because you haven't stretched your mind in so long that challenge now feels threatening. It's like a muscle. When you stop using it, it stops supporting you. Over time, you don't just stay in the comfort zone. You begin to defend it. You begin to rationalize it. You begin to call it peace, when really it's the beginning of decline. 2. Comfort tricks you into thinking you have time. One of the most dangerous lies comfort tells you is that you can always do it later. Later becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. And suddenly, you look back and realize you wasted seasons of your life waiting for the right moment. But there is no right moment. There is only now, and what you decide to do with it. Comfort makes you forget that every day you delay growth, your dreams get further away, not because they move, but because you don't. 3. Comfort keeps success out of reach by keeping effort minimal. Every great success, whether physical, mental, financial, or emotional, demands effort that feels uncomfortable. Not painful. Not impossible. Just uncomfortable. Getting up early is uncomfortable. Disciplining your habits is uncomfortable. Learning something new is uncomfortable. Holding yourself accountable is uncomfortable. Breaking bad habits is uncomfortable. Confronting your flaws is uncomfortable. Pushing beyond your limits is uncomfortable. And comfort convinces you that avoiding discomfort means avoiding suffering. But in reality, avoiding discomfort only guarantees long-term suffering disguised as normal life. You don't see the cost immediately, but the cost is coming: regret, lost time, stagnant growth, declining confidence, and the sinking feeling that you could have done more. 4. Comfort gives you emotional rewards without real achievement. This is the trap that destroys millions of people today. You can get dopamine without progress, connection without depth, entertainment without learning, validation without skill, confidence without actual achievement. Comfort allows you to feel good without becoming good. This is one of the biggest reasons people feel empty even when life looks easy. Comfort replaces meaning with momentary pleasure. And meaning always requires discomfort, because meaning comes from effort, responsibility, growth, and challenge. 5. Comfort convinces you that struggle is a sign of failure. Anytime you try to grow, the first feeling you encounter is friction. Friction is not a sign you're failing, it's a sign you're evolving. But comfort conditions you to avoid friction, so the moment things feel hard, you give up. You convince yourself you're not cut out for it. You think success comes naturally to others and painfully to you. But that's not true. The difference between winners and everyone else isn't talent. It's tolerance. Tolerance for discomfort. People who grow are not better, they are brave enough to endure temporary discomfort for permanent transformation. And here's the painful truth most people never admit: your potential is not destroyed by a lack of opportunity. It's destroyed by overprotecting your comfort. Comfort is destroying your potential not because you're weak, but because you're human. Humans are wired to seek ease and avoid pain. But growth hides behind discomfort. And transformation begins the moment you decide that comfort is no longer your goal, progress is. Your life changes when you understand this. You can choose comfort, or you can choose your future, but you cannot choose both. 6. Your brain is wired to protect comfort, not potential. For thousands of years, humans survived by avoiding anything that seemed risky, uncertain, or difficult. Your brain still operates using that ancient code. So when you try to wake up early, start a new skill, build discipline, change your habits, push your limits, or create a new identity, your brain alerts you with one clear message: stop. This is uncomfortable. Go back. Not because you're in danger, but because your brain can't differentiate discomfort from danger. It treats both the same. This is why stepping outside your comfort zone feels like pushing through heavy mud. Every step forward feels unnatural. Every effort feels exaggerated. Every challenge feels exhausting. But here's the twist: that feeling is not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're breaking the mental programming that has controlled your life for years. Your brain tries to keep you comfortable because comfort is predictable, and the brain loves predictability more than it loves progress. 7. Comfort slowly disconnects you from your true potential. Think back to when you were younger. You naturally pushed yourself. You tried new things without overthinking. You were curious. You were bold. You dreamed without limits. You believed you could become anything. But as you grew older, society rewarded you for comfort. Play it safe. Don't take risks. Just be realistic. Don't make things harder than they need to be. Why push yourself? Relax. You hear these phrases so often they eventually become your identity. Slowly, your comfort zone grows not because your world expands, but because your potential shrinks. Comfort disconnects you from the strongest part of yourself, the part that believes you were meant for more. It numbs your hunger. It dulls your ambition. It softens your edge. And once that edge is gone, your life becomes predictable, repetitive, and stagnant. You don't feel alive. You just feel stable. But stable is not the same as fulfilled. Stable is not the same as successful. Stable is not the same as growing. Comfort gives you stability at the cost of purpose. 8. Comfort amplifies fear, especially fear of failure. People think staying comfortable means avoiding fear. But comfort actually increases fear. How? Because the longer you stay in your comfort zone, the more intimidating the outside world becomes. A small challenge feels huge. A simple task feels impossible. A minor risk feels dangerous. A normal setback feels catastrophic. Failure feels like the end of the world. That's the paradox. Comfort makes fear stronger because comfort makes you weaker. And when you feel weaker, you stop trying. You stop believing. You stop reaching. So your fear grows taller while you grow smaller. This is why many people never pursue their goals. It's not because they lack ability. It's because they've been comfortable for so long that discomfort feels like a threat instead of an opportunity. 9. Comfort makes you addicted to the illusion of just enough. One of the biggest ways comfort destroys people is through the illusion that life is fine. A job that pays the bills. A routine that's predictable. Habits that keep you stable. Energy levels that are average. Dreams you once cared about but now avoid. Comfort convinces you that it's not that bad. Other people have it worse. At least I'm not struggling. My life is okay as it is. But okay is the deadliest place to be. Because when life is terrible, you're forced to change. When life is amazing, you're inspired to grow. But when life is average, you become stuck. Not suffering. Not thriving. Just existing. Comfort tricks you into thinking just enough is normal. Yet deep down, you know you're meant for more. You know you're hiding from the life you truly want to build. Comfort doesn't kill you quickly. It kills you slowly, quietly, gently, until your potential fades away without a sound. 10. The cost of comfort is paid in regret. Regret doesn't come from failure. Regret only comes from avoidance. People fear failure because they think it will hurt. But failure hurts for a moment. Regret hurts for a lifetime. Comfort gives you temporary relief but permanent regret. Imagine yourself at 60 or 70, looking back. What would hurt more? The risks you took that didn't work out? Or the dreams you never had the courage to chase? You already know the answer. Most older people don't regret what they did. They regret what they avoided. What they postponed. What they talked themselves out of. What they were too comfortable to attempt. Comfort protects you from discomfort today, but steals the future you deserve tomorrow. 11. Comfort is easy at the beginning and painful at the end. Every path in life has a cost. The comfort path is easy now, painful later. The growth path is painful now, easy later. Comfort gives you ease without progress, pleasure without purpose, routine without growth, days without meaning. But discomfort gives you discipline, strength, skills, confidence, pride, purpose, real achievement. Growth is hard at the beginning, but freedom comes later. Comfort is easy at the beginning, but regret comes later. You must choose your difficult, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of growth or the pain of staying the same. 12. Comfort kills discipline long before you notice it. Discipline is a system of small promises you keep to yourself. Every time you wake up when you said you would, every time you complete a task you didn't want to do, every time you push yourself a little further, your discipline grows. You build trust in yourself. You build self-respect. But comfort makes you break those promises quietly. I'll do it later, one day won't matter, I deserve a break, I don't feel motivated today, it's not the right time. These small excuses seem harmless, but each one is a tiny fracture in your discipline. You don't feel the consequences immediately. But each time you choose comfort over consistency, you send a message to your brain: my feelings are more important than my goals. And once your brain believes that, discipline collapses, not all at once, but piece by piece. The result is predictable. You become someone who intends to change but never does. 13. Comfort blocks small habits, making big goals impossible. People love dreaming big, lose weight, build a business, become successful, transform their life, improve their mindset, but big goals don't fail because of size. They fail because the small habits that make them possible get ignored. Comfort destroys the micro habits, the morning routines, the daily consistency, the small pushes, the little improvements, the uncomfortable repetitions, the tiny moments of discipline. Those are what build success. And those are exactly what comfort tells you to skip. When the small habits die, the big dreams die with them. 14. Comfort steals your energy, not just your time. You already know comfort wastes time. But here's something deeper: comfort drains your energy. Comfort feels restful, but it's actually draining. Here's why: too much comfort lowers your natural drive. It weakens your internal motivation. It creates mental fog. It reduces your momentum. It increases procrastination. It makes everything feel harder than it really is. The more comfortable you become, the less energy you have to change. This is why someone can sleep for 10 hours and still feel tired, but wake up at 5 a.m. with purpose and feel unstoppable. Without growth, the body rests but the spirit collapses. 15. Comfort increases overthinking. Comfort doesn't give you peace. It gives you space, the kind of empty space where doubts grow like weeds. When you're not actively challenging yourself, your mind looks for threats that don't exist. You start to overthink. Simple decisions, simple tasks, simple risks, simple goals, simple conversations. Comfort creates mental stagnation. And in stagnation, fear grows. That fear stops action. And without action, you overthink even more. It becomes a cycle: comfort, overthinking, inaction, more comfort, more fear, more inaction. The cure is not more thinking. The cure is movement. Action melts fear faster than confidence ever could. 16. Comfort slowly erases your identity as a winner. Every person has two identities inside them. The comfort-driven self avoids effort, seeks ease, settles for less. The growth-driven self pursues challenge, demands more, refuses stagnation. Comfort feeds the first identity. It turns you into someone who avoids goals, someone who avoids effort, someone who avoids pressure, someone who avoids responsibility. Over time, you no longer recognize yourself. The winner in you gets buried under years of easy choices. The fighter in you gets replaced by someone who just wants a simple life. The dreamer in you gets replaced by someone who doesn't want to fail. Your identity shifts quietly. Not overnight, over years. One day you wake up and wonder, where did my potential go? It didn't disappear. It was traded one comfortable decision at a time. 17. Comfort attracts comfortable people and pushes away ambitious ones. Your environment shapes your identity faster than anything else. Comfort attracts people who settle, people who avoid growth, people who complain, people who fear risk, people who accept mediocrity. Being around them reinforces your comfort zone identity. But growth attracts disciplined people, driven people, passionate people, confident people, ambitious people. These people push you, challenge you, inspire you, and elevate you. The more comfortable you become, the more you lose access to environments that accelerate your growth. And without those environments, your potential shrinks even faster. You start living in an ecosystem where no one expects anything from you, so you expect nothing from yourself. 18. Comfort gives you the illusion of control while taking away real control. Here's the biggest illusion comfort creates: it makes you feel like you're in control because life feels predictable. But predictability is not control. Stagnation is not control. Routine is not control. Real control comes from capability, the skills you develop, the discipline you build, the habits you master, the confidence you earn, the challenges you overcome. Comfort takes those away. You feel in control because life is easy, but you lose control the moment life stops being easy. Because comfort never prepares you for chaos. Growth does. The person who avoids discomfort today becomes vulnerable tomorrow. 19. Comfort makes you confuse relief with happiness. Many people think they're chasing happiness, but they're actually chasing relief. Here's the difference: relief is temporary. Happiness is built. Relief comes from avoiding effort. Happiness comes from earning progress. Comfort gives you relief: scrolling on your phone, binge watching, lying in bed, delaying work, avoiding tasks, avoiding goals. It feels good for a moment, but it leaves you feeling empty afterward. Because relief has no meaning. Relief has no purpose. Relief has no lasting fulfillment. Meanwhile, real happiness comes from hitting goals, building habits, pushing limits, creating progress, overcoming challenges. Comfort gives you the illusion of happiness while stealing the real thing. 20. Comfort gives you small pleasures that block big rewards. The human brain is wired for dopamine. Comfort uses this against you. Every time you choose comfort, your brain rewards you. You get a dopamine hit for doing nothing. But here's the catch: the small pleasure you gain prevents you from pursuing the larger, more meaningful rewards that require effort. You trade the hard work for instant pleasure, the long-term reward for a short-term escape, the life you want for the moment you want to avoid. Comfort creates a cycle of instant gratification dependency. Once you're hooked on the easy dopamine, the hard dopamine, the kind that comes from discipline, mastery, and achievement, feels too far away. This is why comfort feels addictive. Not because it's good, but because it's easy. 21. Comfort keeps your life predictable, but predictable is not meaningful. Most people want predictable lives because predictability feels safe. You know what your day looks like. You know what tomorrow looks like. You know what next month looks like. You know what your future looks like, because it's the same as your past. But predictable is not meaningful. Predictable is not exciting. Predictable is not fulfilling. Predictable is the opposite of growth. Every meaningful moment in your life, every breakthrough, every transformation, every achievement came from stepping into something unpredictable. Comfort removes all unpredictability. And without unpredictability, there is no growth. Your comfort zone is not the place you feel safe. It is the place your dreams come to die. 22. Comfort kills momentum. The most powerful force in self-improvement. Momentum is the engine behind success. Once you get moving, staying moving becomes easier. But comfort is the enemy of momentum. It stops you at the start. It stops you in the middle. It stops you the moment things feel uncomfortable. You could have 10 days of great progress, but one day of choosing comfort can break the streak. Once momentum dies, starting again feels twice as hard. This is why people restart their goals over and over, restarting fitness, restarting routines, restarting habits, restarting discipline, restarting dreams. Comfort kills the momentum before success can build. And without momentum, you never reach the version of yourself you're capable of becoming. 23. Comfort whispers the lie that you can start again later. This is one of comfort's most dangerous traps, the illusion of unlimited time. Comfort tells you, you can start tomorrow. You can save money later. You can build discipline later. You can fix your habits later. You can chase your dream next year. But the later you wait, the harder the start becomes. Not because you lose ability, but because you lose belief. Every delay builds doubt. Every delay strengthens fear. Every delay weakens identity. You don't run out of time abruptly. You run out slowly, quietly, invisibly, until one day you wake up and realize the window has closed. 24. Comfort makes you avoid the pressure that creates greatness. Pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is the force that shapes diamonds, champions, and leaders. Every great person you admire got there because they embraced pressure: pressure to perform, pressure to improve, pressure to take risks, pressure to grow, pressure to evolve. Comfort, on the other hand, teaches you to avoid pressure, avoid challenges, avoid goals, avoid expectations, avoid responsibilities. And when you avoid pressure, life doesn't get easier, you get weaker. Pressure is not the weight that crushes you. Pressure is the weight that builds you. But comfort convinces you to put the weight down, and the moment you do, your growth stops. 25. Comfort hides your potential behind excuses. Comfort relies on a library of excuses. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I don't have time. I don't know how. It's not the right moment. I'll do it later. I'm not ready. But these are not reasons. They're emotional shields protecting your comfort zone. The truth is painful but powerful. Most people aren't held back by circumstances. They're held back by excuses disguised as logic. Comfort makes the excuses feel valid, but deep down, you always know they're lies. Your potential sits behind a wall of excuses. Break the wall, and you unlock a new identity. 26. Comfort destroys your hunger for more. Every successful person has a hunger inside them, a drive, a fire, a vision, a desire for more. Not greed. Not ego. Hunger. But comfort suffocates that hunger. The more comfortable you become, the less you want, the less you chase, the less you push, the less you believe. Comfort makes you satisfied with almost enough. With okay energy. With average performance. With minimum effort. It takes the fire inside you and replaces it with warm ashes. A life without hunger is a life without direction. 27. Comfort makes your limitations feel like your personality. Have you ever said things like, "I'm just not consistent. I'm not a morning person. I get overwhelmed easily. I lose motivation fast. I can't stay disciplined. I'm not naturally confident." These labels aren't personality traits. They're side effects of too much comfort. But you repeat them so often that they become part of your identity. Comfort doesn't just stop your growth. It convinces you that growth isn't even possible for you. It makes your temporary habits feel like permanent truths. It makes your current weaknesses feel like your destiny. It makes your lack of action feel justified. But none of these are personality traits. They're simply patterns. Patterns created by comfort. Patterns that can be changed. You are not who comfort has convinced you to be. 28. Comfort erases curiosity, the fuel of all personal growth. Human beings are naturally curious. Curiosity leads to learning, experimentation, exploration, and improvement. But comfort kills curiosity because curiosity requires movement. Comfort says, why explore when you can relax? Why learn when the familiar feels easier? Why try something new when you already feel okay? When curiosity dies, evolution dies with it. You stop asking questions. You stop trying new things. You stop expanding your mind. You stop taking steps forward. Your world becomes small. Your dreams become smaller. And your potential becomes microscopic. A curious mind outgrows its comfort zone. A comfortable mind outgrows nothing. 29. Comfort convinces you to avoid your own potential because it feels intimidating. Most people are not afraid of failure. They are afraid of the version of themselves they could become. Why? Because greatness demands responsibility. Responsibility demands effort. Effort demands discomfort. Your potential is powerful. Power is intimidating. Comfort offers a way out. Stay small. It's easier. Stay average. It's safer. Stay unnoticed. There's no pressure. But you don't fear your limits, you fear your power. That power requires sacrifice. Comfort convinces you to avoid that sacrifice. But if your potential intimidates you, that's exactly why you must chase it. 30. Comfort blinds you to opportunities that require courage. Opportunities rarely come wrapped in ease. They usually look like too much work, too risky, too uncertain, too uncomfortable. Comfort filters them out immediately. Every opportunity demands courage. Comfort kills courage. So opportunities pass you by, not because they weren't meant for you, but because you weren't willing to stretch into them. You don't lose opportunities. You avoid them. 31. Comfort creates fake confidence that collapses under pressure. Comfort gives you confidence as long as nothing challenges you. As long as life stays predictable. As long as everything stays easy. But confidence without challenge is fake confidence. The moment pressure arrives, stress rises, fear spikes, doubt overwhelms, panic takes over. Your confidence collapses because it was never real, it was comfort-based confidence. The only real confidence comes from doing hard things. Not thinking about hard things. Not planning hard things. Doing them. Comfort stops you from ever earning the confidence you need. 32. Comfort fools you into thinking you're working when you're not. Comfort creates the illusion of productivity. You feel busy. You feel active. You feel engaged. But you're organizing instead of executing, planning instead of starting, researching instead of practicing, thinking instead of doing, preparing instead of committing. Comfort makes procrastination look productive. You can spend hours getting ready, but never move a single inch toward the result. Comfort disguises motion without progress. 33. Comfort numbs your emotional strength. Life will test you. Every great journey includes rejection, stress, fear, uncertainty, failure, and setbacks. Comfort makes you emotionally fragile because you stop experiencing pressure. Without discomfort, challenges feel impossible, criticism feels personal, setbacks feel permanent, failure feels fatal. Your resilience weakens. Your emotional tolerance shrinks. Your mental toughness fades. Comfort doesn't just make you soft physically. It makes you soft emotionally. And emotional weakness kills potential faster than anything else. 34. Comfort lowers your standards without you noticing. Your standards determine your future. But when you stay comfortable for too long, your standards drop slowly, quietly, invisibly. You start accepting less effort, less discipline, less energy, less passion, less ambition, less urgency, less quality. Your standards determine your identity. Your identity determines your habits. Your habits determine your results. Comfort lowers all three. You stop expecting excellence from yourself. You settle for good enough. And good enough is the first step toward mediocrity. 35. Comfort creates a life you don't want. Slowly, silently. No one wakes up one day with a ruined life. Lives fall apart in small steps. Comfort makes you skip one workout, skip one habit, delay one goal, delay one decision, avoid one challenge. One day becomes two. Two becomes a week. A week becomes a month. A month becomes a lifestyle. Comfort destroys your potential slowly. So slowly you barely feel it happening. But the destruction is real. Your dreams shrink. Your ambition fades. Your confidence dissolves. Your fire goes out. Not all at once, but quietly. Over years. Until you finally ask yourself, how did my life end up like this? 36. Comfort convinces you that growth is supposed to feel natural. One of the biggest lies comfort creates is the idea that self-improvement should feel effortless. People believe motivation should come easily, discipline should come naturally, consistency should come automatically, progress should feel smooth, change should feel good, but none of that is true. Growth is not natural. Growth is not comfortable. Growth is not automatic. Growth is earned through discomfort. Comfort convinces you that the moment something feels hard, it's a sign you're doing it wrong. But the truth is the opposite. When it feels hard, that's the sign you're doing it right. 37. Comfort makes you underestimate how much you're capable of. Most people don't push themselves even 10 of what they're capable of. Comfort shrinks your ambition so deeply that you don't even realize how much strength, intelligence, creativity, and discipline you actually have. Comfort tells you, you're doing enough. You're not built for more. You're too tired. You're too busy. You're not capable of big change. But that's not the truth. That's the voice of untested potential. You don't know your limits until you go beyond your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is not your capacity, it's just your familiar space. Your capabilities live far outside it. 38. Comfort convinces you that discomfort is dangerous. Discomfort is not danger. Discomfort is the birthplace of evolution. But comfort sends distress signals: hesitation, anxiety, nerves, doubt, tension, resistance. These signals confuse people into thinking they're about to fail. But discomfort is not failure, it's the activation of growth. The moment something feels uncomfortable is the moment your brain transitions from survival mode to evolution mode. Comfort tries to stop that activation. That's why it feels like friction. The friction isn't a warning. It's the invitation. 39. Comfort replaces long-term vision with moment-to-moment emotions. Comfort traps you inside the present moment, not in a mindful way, but in a reactive way. Instead of thinking long-term, you ask, what feels good right now? What's easiest right now? What's comfortable today? You sacrifice your future for your feelings. And emotions change every minute. Your goals do not. A great future requires ignoring feelings that don't serve it. Comfort teaches you to obey them. This kills the long-term vision that success depends on. 40. Comfort makes you numb to the pain of staying the same. Here's the paradox: people fear the pain of change, but they forget the pain of staying the same. The pain of wasted potential, lost time, regret, stagnation, disappointment, unfulfilled dreams. Comfort numbs this pain. But numbness is not healing, numbness is decay. When you stop feeling the discomfort of an unfulfilled life, that's when your potential is in the most danger. You cannot fix what you no longer feel. 41. Comfort traps you in routines that quietly destroy your growth. Routines are powerful, but comfort-based routines are destructive. Routines like waking up without purpose, checking your phone first thing, scrolling for dopamine, delaying important tasks, avoiding challenge, settling for minimum effort. When repeated daily, these routines sculpt a life of mediocrity. Comfort wins one routine at a time. Growth wins one routine at a time. The routines you repeat determine the future you create. 42. Comfort makes resistance feel permanent. When someone tries to change, they feel tired, frustrated, unmotivated, overwhelmed. Comfort magnifies these feelings and convinces you, this is just who I am. This will never get easier. This is too much for me. This is impossible. But these emotions are temporary. The resistance you feel when breaking a comfort zone is the friction of transformation. Comfort convinces you that the friction is the destination. It's not, it's the doorway. 43. Comfort makes you forget who you could have become. This is the deepest tragedy of comfort. It steals the version of yourself you were supposed to grow into. The version with discipline, confidence, self-respect, courage, ambition, strength, purpose. Comfort blinds you to that version. You forget you were capable of more. You forget the dreams you once had. You forget the fire you felt years ago. You forget the standards you once believed in. You forget the person you wanted to be. Comfort doesn't just steal your potential, it steals your memory of your potential. You can't chase what you've forgotten. 44. Comfort convinces you that you're alone in your struggle. Comfort makes you believe, no one else feels this. Everyone else is disciplined. Everyone else is strong. Everyone else is motivated. Everyone else has it figured out. This is a lie. Everyone struggles. Everyone battles fear. Everyone avoids discomfort at times. Everyone fights their comfort zone. Greatness is not the absence of struggle. Greatness is the willingness to fight through it. Comfort isolates you. Growth connects you to your purpose, to your power, to your potential. 45. Comfort wins slowly, but transformation begins immediately. Despite all this, here's the truth comfort doesn't want you to know: transformation begins the moment you choose one uncomfortable action. You don't need a full plan. You don't need motivation. You don't need perfection. You don't need confidence. You only need a single act of discomfort to break the pattern. Comfort loses the moment you do something uncomfortable. Because that single moment proves something powerful: you can change. You can grow. You can break the cycle. You can rebuild momentum. The moment you prove comfort wrong, your identity begins to shift. This is where the transformation starts. 46. You don't need to eliminate comfort, you need to reposition it. A powerful truth most people miss: comfort is not the enemy. Comfort in the wrong place is the enemy. Comfort after effort builds recovery. Comfort after achievement builds pride. Comfort after discipline builds confidence. Comfort after growth builds momentum. But comfort before effort is sabotage. You don't need to remove comfort from your life. You need to earn it. Comfort must come as a reward, not a lifestyle. 47. You break the comfort cycle by overriding the first resistance. The hardest part of any transformation is the first minute of discomfort. The first rep, the first step. The first email. The first task. The first uncomfortable action. Comfort makes the beginning feel impossible. But once you push past the first resistance, momentum takes over. You don't need discipline for the entire journey. You only need discipline for the first moment. Because the moment you start, you stop negotiating with comfort. 48. Small discomforts build massive transformation. People think growth requires dramatic life changes, intense routines, or extreme discipline. It doesn't. Growth comes from frequent, small doses of discomfort repeated daily: 10 minutes of reading, 5 minutes of journaling, 20 minutes of exercise, 1 difficult conversation, 1 uncomfortable task, 1 small promise kept, 1 step outside routine. Small discomforts compound. Small discomforts build courage. Small discomforts rebuild identity. Small discomforts weaken comfort's control. You don't need to overhaul your life. You need to choose small discomforts consistently. 49. Identity shifts the moment you act differently. Your identity is not built from thoughts. Your identity is built from actions. Every time you act in a way that contradicts your old patterns, your brain rewrites your identity. If you push through a workout, complete a task you wanted to avoid, say no to a distraction, choose discipline over delay, choose action over overthinking, choose discomfort over ease, your brain updates the story: I am someone who follows through. I am someone who can do hard things. I am someone who grows. I am someone who doesn't quit. Comfort collapses identity. Action rebuilds it. 50. Discipline feels hard only until it becomes your new comfort zone. Every habit becomes easier the more you repeat it. At first, waking up early feels impossible. Working out feels painful. Reading feels boring. Meditating feels awkward. Studying feels overwhelming. Cold showers feel insane. But something incredible happens with repetition: discomfort becomes familiar. Familiar becomes normal. Normal becomes comfortable. Suddenly, the habits that once felt impossible become part of who you are. Comfort can trap you, but comfort can also empower you when you place it in the right direction. 51. Your potential explodes the moment you stop negotiating with yourself. Life changes dramatically when you remove one thing: the negotiation. The back and forth. The debating. The excuses. The should I or shouldn't I. The internal argument. The bargaining with your goals. Comfort wins every negotiation. So stop negotiating. Replace decisions with standards. Replace tries with commitments. Replace someday with today. Replace feelings with action. Discipline is not about fighting your emotions, it's about ignoring the ones that don't serve your future. 52. You must choose your difficulty. Comfort or growth. Life is hard either way. Comfort is hard because it leads to regret, low energy, lost confidence, missed opportunities, poor habits, mental stagnation. Growth is hard because it requires effort, discipline, discomfort, consistency, courage, sacrifice. You cannot avoid difficulty. You can only choose which difficulty shapes your life. Comfort gives you pain later. Growth gives you pain now. But one destroys you. The other transforms you. 53. You don't need motivation, you need momentum. Motivation is emotional. Momentum is mechanical. Motivation fades. Momentum compounds. You don't need to feel inspired. You need to move. Once you take action, your energy rises, your clarity improves, your confidence grows, your resistance drops, your identity shifts. Momentum is the antidote to comfort. 54. You must build a life where growth becomes non-negotiable. The most powerful way to escape comfort is to create a life where growth is simply part of your identity, not an option, not a temporary phase, not something you try, but something you are. This means, you don't wait for motivation. You don't wait for the right time. You don't wait for confidence. You don't wait for perfect conditions. You decide, this is who I am now. Not someone who avoids discomfort, but someone who uses it. Not someone who fears challenge, but someone who builds strength through it. Not someone who collapses in difficulty, but someone who rises through it. 55. When you stop choosing comfort, life starts choosing you. The moment you step outside your comfort zone, life expands. New opportunities appear. New ideas ignite. New people connect. New confidence forms. New possibilities open. New standards rise. New identity grows. Success doesn't happen inside your comfort zone. Success begins the moment you step out of it. You have survived comfort. Now, it's time to outgrow it. 56. Your comfort zone dies the moment you do something new. Comfort survives on familiarity. It relies on you repeating the same patterns, the same habits, the same routines, the same choices. The second you introduce something new, you crack the foundation of your comfort zone. It could be a new habit, a new morning routine, a new challenge, a new discipline, a new standard, a new mindset, a new environment. The moment you step into new, comfort begins to lose its power. Growth is not built on intensity. Growth is built on newness. A single new action can rewrite the trajectory of your life. 57. Discomfort teaches you more in 10 days than comfort teaches in 10 years. Comfort is repetitive, you learn nothing new. Discomfort is expansive, you grow every time you face it. In discomfort you learn self-control, resilience, adaptability, confidence, patience, strategy, emotional regulation, discipline, courage. Discomfort is a classroom. Comfort is a trap. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding the lessons they need the most. You become extraordinary not because life is easy, but because you choose to grow where others choose to hide. 58. You don't become strong by thinking, you become strong by doing. One of comfort's greatest tricks is making you believe that thinking, researching, or planning is the same as progress. But real strength is built in action. The uncomfortable action. The unfamiliar action. The scary action. The disciplined action. Your muscles don't grow by reading about fitness. Your skills don't improve by thinking about practice. Your discipline doesn't develop by imagining routines. Your confidence doesn't rise by visualizing courage. Strength is forged in doing. Comfort stops you from doing. Take action, even messy action, and you become stronger instantly. 59. The life you want is already waiting, but the version of you that deserves it is not yet formed. Your dream life exists. Your goals exist. Your potential future exists. But a different version of you must rise to step into it. You cannot reach your next level with your current comfort-based habits. You cannot unlock the door to your future with the key of your past. Growth is not about earning success, it's about becoming the person who naturally creates success. Comfort blocks that transformation. Discomfort accelerates it. Every step outside your comfort zone is a step into the future version of yourself. 60. Escape requires a trigger moment. Your enough is enough awakening. Every transformation begins with one moment, the moment you get tired of your own excuses. The moment you get tired of shrinking. The moment you get tired of feeling stuck. The moment you get tired of wasting time. The moment you get tired of betraying your potential. This is your breaking point, but not in the way you think. It's your breakthrough point. Comfort dies the moment you say internally, I refuse to live like this anymore. That sentence alone can change the direction of your entire life. 61. The fastest way to destroy comfort. Create a mission, not a goal. Goals are small. Goals are numbers. Goals are checkboxes. They're good, but they are weak compared to a mission. A mission gives you purpose, direction, meaning, urgency, structure, hunger, identity. Comfort cannot survive when your life has mission. A mission pulls you forward even when you don't feel motivated. A mission demands discomfort. A mission requires growth. A mission replaces excuses with responsibility. When your why becomes strong enough, comfort becomes irrelevant. 62. You must build an environment where the comfortable choice is the hardest choice. Environment is everything. You can have all the ambition in the world, but if your environment encourages comfort, you will fall into comfort. Instead, design your environment so that distractions are hard to access, focus is easy, good habits are visible, bad habits are inconvenient, growth is supported, mediocrity feels unacceptable. Your environment must reflect your future, not your past. Comfort thrives in environments of convenience. Growth thrives in environments of intention. 63. You must create friction for bad habits and ease for good habits. This is one of the most powerful psychological strategies for escaping comfort. Increase the friction on your harmful comfort habits. Decrease the friction on your growth habits. If scrolling is your comfort escape, make it harder. Move your phone away. Log out of apps. Disable shortcuts. If workouts are your growth habit, make them easier. Prepare clothes the night before. Follow a simple routine. Start with short sessions. Humans don't choose the best option, they choose the most convenient one. Make growth convenient. Make comfort inconvenient. 64. You don't need to transform instantly, you need to transform identity. People fail because they focus on results instead of identity. Comfort controls results. Identity controls actions. When you shift identity, habits follow, discipline follows, energy follows, confidence follows, success follows. Identity change sounds complex, but it's simple. Act like the person you want to become before you feel like that person. Every decision is a vote. Every action is a brick. Every day builds the character the future requires. 65. Once you escape the comfort zone, life becomes bigger than you imagined. Your comfort zone is small. Your potential is massive. The moment you break free, your world expands, your thinking expands, your courage expands, your opportunities expand, your belief expands, your future expands. Comfort keeps your life small. Discomfort keeps your life growing. Your next level is waiting outside your comfort zone, not because it's hidden, but because comfort keeps you too small to reach it. Now you're waking up. Now you're rising. Now you're ready to escape. 66. Comfort steals your life in invisible ways. Comfort doesn't take your life all at once. It takes it quietly. It steals your mornings, your focus, your energy, your discipline, your drive, your purpose. And because it steals these things slowly, you don't notice the loss until you look back and realize you've lived more days in autopilot than in intention. More days in routine than in growth. More days in avoidance than in pursuit. Comfort turns days into weeks, weeks into months, months into years, and years into a life you never meant to live. 67. The biggest danger, you get used to living below your potential. Humans can adapt to anything. But that includes mediocrity. The longer you stay comfortable, the more normal it feels to live without ambition, discipline, excitement, purpose, growth, challenge. You get used to waking up uninspired, acting without urgency, delaying important work, repeating old patterns, living without fire. And here's the scary part: comfort becomes the new normal, and growth begins to feel abnormal. Once this happens, comfort becomes almost impossible to escape, unless you break the cycle deliberately. 68. Comfort turns potential into regret. Potential is a gift, but it's also a responsibility. If you don't use it, it becomes regret. The dreams you avoid today become the regrets you carry tomorrow. The effort you dodge today becomes the guilt you feel tomorrow. The decisions you postpone today become the disappointment you face tomorrow. Comfort gives you short-term relief but long-term regret. Growth gives you short-term discomfort but long-term pride. The question is simple: which one do you want your life to be filled with, relief or pride? 69. Comfort makes you believe there's still time. This is comfort's most dangerous illusion. You think you have time because you're young, or because life feels stable, or because nothing feels urgent, or because you can always start later. But later is the most expensive word in human history. People waste years believing they have more time, until one day they don't. Comfort doesn't just delay your progress, it delays your entire life. Most people don't run out of potential. They run out of time to use it. 70. Comfort shrinks your world while growth expands it. When you stay comfortable, your options shrink, your opportunities shrink, your confidence shrinks, your curiosity shrinks, your future shrinks. Your whole world becomes smaller. But when you pursue growth, your world expands, your identity expands, your courage expands, your achievements expand, your pride expands. The world opens up for people willing to walk into discomfort. 71. Comfort convinces you to live reactively instead of intentionally. When you're stuck in comfort, your life becomes reactive. You react to problems. You react to emotions. You react to situations. You react to your environment. You are no longer the one steering your life. Life pushes you, and you just follow. But when you escape comfort, you shift from reacting to creating. You create habits, goals, discipline, structure, opportunities, identity, momentum. You stop being a passenger. You become the driver. 72. Comfort hides your higher self behind a fog. Inside you is a version of yourself that is disciplined, powerful, unstoppable, focused, intentional, confident, courageous. That version is always there, but comfort fogs your vision. You can't see who you could be because comfort blinds you with ease. You lose connection with your hunger, your strength, your dreams, your drive, your purpose. But the fog lifts the moment you choose discomfort. Because discomfort forces clarity. It forces presence. It forces awareness. It forces evolution. 73. Comfort disguises itself as self-care. This is one of the most deceptive traps of modern comfort. People say, "I'm taking it easy for my mental health. I need to relax today. I deserve comfort. I need a break." Sometimes this is valid. Most of the time, it's avoidance disguised as self-kindness. True self-care is discipline, boundaries, growth, structure, healing, purpose. Avoidance is not self-care. Escapism is not self-care. Comfort is not self-care. Comfort removes discomfort. Self-care removes dysfunction. They are not the same. 74. Comfort kills the urgency that success requires. If you look at the most successful people in any field, athletes, entrepreneurs, creators, artists, leaders, they all share one trait: urgency. Not stress. Not panic. Urgency. Comfort destroys urgency. It removes the fire behind action. It removes the pressure behind effort. It removes the speed behind decisions. Success loves speed. Comfort loves delay. Every time you delay, comfort wins. 75. Your future self is begging you to escape comfort today. Imagine the version of yourself 5 years from now. Stronger, more confident, more successful, more disciplined, more fulfilled, more aligned. That version of you exists. But they cannot appear if you keep choosing comfort. Your future self is watching your choices. And they're silently begging you, please don't make the decisions that will hurt me later. Your future self needs you to act now, to break comfort, to rise, to evolve, to grow. 76. Comfort is not your friend, it's your prison disguised as a luxury. Comfort feels warm. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels gentle. Comfort feels harmless. But that's the trick. Comfort is the silent prison where dreams suffocate. A place where ambition grows weak. A place where courage fades. A place where fire dies out slowly, without noise, without pain, without urgency. Comfort doesn't attack you. It tucks you in. But the walls are closing in the entire time. 77. Discomfort is not punishment, it's the doorway to the life you truly want. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding discomfort, when discomfort is the only path to strength, discipline, confidence, mastery, success, transformation. You cannot bypass discomfort. You cannot negotiate with it. You cannot outsmart it. Discomfort is the price of becoming the person you are meant to be. Once you understand this, you stop fearing discomfort, you start using it. 78. The cost of comfort is invisible until it becomes unbearable. When you're young, comfort feels harmless. When you're older, comfort becomes regret. You don't notice the cost today, but you will notice it later: dreams unfulfilled, time wasted, opportunities missed, confidence lost, potential abandoned. Comfort always sends the bill. And the longer you avoid discomfort, the more expensive that bill becomes. 79. Growth requires sacrifice, but staying the same requires a bigger one. People avoid growth because they fear the sacrifice: time, energy, effort, discomfort, discipline. But staying the same requires sacrifices too: your confidence, your health, your ambition, your purpose, your dreams. Both paths require payment. Only one is worth it. 80. The most dangerous comfort is emotional comfort. Physical comfort is easy to see. Mental comfort is easy to feel. But emotional comfort is deadly because it convinces you to avoid risk, avoid responsibility, avoid accountability, avoid pressure, avoid ambition. It whispers, don't get hurt. Don't look foolish. Don't fail. Don't try. But every dream you have requires emotional exposure, vulnerability, courage, effort, uncertainty. Comfort blocks all of these. And with them, it blocks your evolution. 81. Nothing changes until you change your self-image. You cannot create a new life with the same self-image. If you see yourself as inconsistent, unmotivated, lazy, easily distracted, undisciplined, then your actions will match that identity. But the moment you shift your self-image to disciplined, powerful, intentional, capable, focused, resilient, your behaviors shift automatically. Your identity creates your habits. Your habits create your future. To escape comfort, you must become the person who does not return to it. 82. Your habits reveal who you serve, your future or your comfort. Every choice you make is a vote. When you wake up late, procrastinate, avoid work, skip routines, choose distractions, you vote for comfort. You vote for stagnation. You vote for your old self. But when you show up, start small, follow through, keep going, stay consistent, you vote for your future. You vote for your strength. You vote for your highest self. Every day you cast votes, and eventually, those votes become your life. 83. The bridge between your current self and your potential is built with discomfort. There is no secret formula. No shortcut. No hack. The bridge between who you are and who you want to be is made of uncomfortable bricks. Early mornings, difficult decisions, disciplined routines, focused work, uncomfortable truth, consistent effort, emotional resilience. Crossing that bridge isn't easy, but staying on the wrong side is far more painful. 84. The war is not between you and the world, it's between you and your comfort. Success is not complicated, but it is uncomfortable. Comfort is not complicated, but it is destructive. Every day you wake up and fight one of two enemies: the discomfort that builds your future, the comfort that destroys it. The world is not holding you back. Your comfort is. And once you defeat comfort, life becomes limitless. 85. This is your awakening, your call to rise. Comfort has held you long enough. It has stolen enough days, enough energy, enough confidence, enough dreams. Now you stand at a crossroads: go back to comfort and live the same year again, or step into discomfort and build the future you were meant to create. The fact that you've made it this far proves one thing: you are ready. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Not when it's easier. Now. Your potential is calling. Your future is waiting. Your higher self is rising. Comfort had its time. Now it's your turn.